Well, hello and welcome to this week's edition of Movie Burner News here at Movie Burner Entertainment. This week's headline is Zack Snyder's original Justice League plans revealed by Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, the fat man himself, Stephen, self-proclaimed fat man. He's not so fat anymore. He has lost that incredible amount of weight. He's done a tremendous job.
Yeah.
After he's near brush with death, he had a heart attack, of course. So fair play to you, Kevin, first and foremost. But look, we're not discussing his heart attack. He's near brush with death.
Actually, missed out a word there in that headline, John. Trilogy.
Trilogy.
That's the key.
Yeah, that's the key part of the headline. Yeah. Kevin is discussing what he's seen of a potential Zack Snyder Justice League trilogy, and he says, by all accounts, it was going to be absolutely epic. It was going to involve Darkseid and Apocalypse and just the Green Lantern Corps and just a whole host of absolute epicness, which sadly we're not going to get now because Zack Snyder had to go away, a personal tragedy. I believe it was involving his daughter. He stepped down, or he was shown the door. There was a bit of ambiguity in there, Stephen, surrounding the events of Zack's departure from obviously Warner Brothers and DC. But Josh Whedon came in, finished Justice League. It was a whatever the hell, I was about to say another word there, which doesn't even exist, Stephen, but it was an absolute den of iniquity, discombobulated mess of a film, which obviously crashed and burned. It's pretty much killed the DCEU. They're now doing their own thing, they're doing standalone films. So it's really sad to see this potential trilogy isn't going to happen. Because it is so cool reading about it. Look, I've said it time and again, I'm not the biggest comic book reader. I don't know much of the history and the backstories of all these great and wondrous characters, the colourful locations. Don't know much about Darkseid, but looking at Darkseid, he looks very much like DC's version of Thanos, or maybe Marvel have stole Darkseid's idea and made Thanos out of that. Yeah, given the history, it seems like Marvel often nick a lot of DC's great ideas. DC are, by all accounts, the better comic books. Oh, I'm not going to get involved in that.
No, listen, John, see the article. It kind of depresses me of what could have been, because there's little bits in there that kind of make sense. There's a bit that involved Alfred from the trailer. Yeah,
it's all interconnected very, very well.
Which I think we all assumed he was meeting Superman, but it turns out it was this character. I mean, that's fantastic. I would have loved to have saw that. Also, there's a bit in it that's saying that, you know, that the villains, Darkseid and his motley crew, would have taken over the world by the end of the second film. So it would have been very Empire Strikes Back-esque. And
Empire Strikes Back, Infinity War.
And then the third film would have been very much what the Avengers are going to be doing in Endgame. It's going to be reclaiming, you know, what's theirs. That would have been fantastic. The other bit I did laugh at, and it shows you what a life Kevin Smith's got. He was actually talking to these guys when he was on set during pre-production of Episode 9, Star Wars Episode 9. So what a opportunity, what access that man's got.
Globe-trotting all over the place and getting into all these big productions. You're lucky get, Kevin.
But listen, it's a shame that this didn't happen, because I think this might have, I think this would have been even better than Avengers, if I'm being honest, because I do prefer DC's characters. But nevertheless, depresses me because of what did become of what the Justice League ended up being. Very disappointing, very lacklustre, and I think out with Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, the Flash just didn't really get much screen time. What's the one with the sort of cyborg thing? Cyborg, is that what it's called? Yeah, I didn't even know what it's called. Wasn't that really interesting? Jason Momoa, he shone in the film, to be fair. But it was just a very disappointing film. Reading that, it just depresses me, you know. Yeah,
he says he's seen the Jim Lee breakdown boards for all 3 Justice League movies, so they definitely had a clear plan in place for all of those films, and he really does go into great detail about what it would have encompassed this whole trilogy, the beginning, the middle and the end. He mentions a boom tube. I've been reading up on this, Stephen. This is essentially an expression for a fictional extra-dimensional point-to-point Einstein-Rosen bridge, which is opened by a mother box.
Like a Stargate,
Mother box, sorry. So that was also the thing Steppenwolf was trying to get his hands on in the first Justice League film. He was going to get that, and then it would open up this dimensional rift. They would spot Darkseid, he would spot them, and then he'd shut this, what did I say, boom tube. It closes, and then obviously that's the end of the effing movie, as Kevin says. With them all knowing there's something out there and and that they have to go. So that would have been an incredible cliffhanger of an ending. We would have then been all anticipating. If it came together nicely and Zack Snyder had managed to make a more clearer and a cleaner.
What did we get instead at the end? There was an introduction to the character. What's he called again? It was an Arrow.
Yeah, it was Deathstroke.
Deathstroke,
yeah. Joe Manganiello or something.
And they're not even going to
follow up with that.
I'm not going to follow up with that.
Yeah, it wasn't as good, Stephen. It was just, as I said, a discombobulated mess of a film, which we got, but it's always going to be the case. You've got different directors coming in and obviously taking over bits and having to keep certain parts from the previous director. And the visions, the creative visions, aren't going to be the same.
Yeah.
But look, I'm absolutely devastated that this trilogy hasn't happened. It would have been very cool to see this apocalypse world. That would have been something very cool. I'm actually going to plug in my charger here, Steve.
Well, listen, while you're doing that, I'm going to give it away to our next article. Yes, that is.
Please do.
And this leads us right into what we're just talking about. This is came in, I think, once our show dropped last week, which was a bit unfortunate because it was pretty big news.
Yes.
And it was Ben Affleck has confirmed he won't play Batman again. This was a bit of a no-brainer. We knew this was coming. When it was coming, we didn't know. Or we
this is not
probably,
the best production we've got going on here, Steve.
held back on our show that week. But listen, it's a no-brainer. We knew it was going to happen. It's always sad to read anyway because I thought when he was announced, 2013, I think it was, a lot of people weren't that keen on Ben Affleck playing Bruce Wayne Batman. I had my reservations, but it was only because it was a year after Christian Bale hung up his cape.
Yeah.
And I thought it's a bit too soon to be announcing things like this, but nevertheless, I thought he was a good Bruce Wayne. I thought he was a good Batman.
Yeah.
Certainly, those opening scenes in Batman v Superman were epic. They were up there with the Man of Steel because it was a continuation from, the end of that film.
Clash of the Titans of these two figures.
That was fantastic, and I thought it was great. I thought he was a really good Bruce Wayne as well. I thought the chemistry between him and Jeremy Irons playing Alfred was some of the best. In fact, I would say it was better than, dare I say it, better than Michael Caine
and Christian
Bale's, which was very good.
I really enjoyed the character of Batman in the Batman v Superman film. Just this, what he was saying was right. His mantra about Superman. If there's even a hint of malice within this character, you're this man, then you have to treat him like an enemy because he's an almost godlike figure. Yeah. And if there's even a hint of just this modicum of malice within this man, then you really do have to treat him like an enemy.
You've got to remember, John, human nature.
He was right.
That give any human a little bit of power, and they can become corruptible very easily. Yeah,
and also he's not got the insight that we have. Obviously, looking at the character of Superman, knowing he's the ultimate good.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah.
So I mean, I absolutely love Ben Affleck. Obviously, he was in Argo and things like that. I know he was an outstanding actor, so I never really had any real issues with him coming in to portray, obviously, Bruce Wayne and Batman. It was nothing for me really. After seeing the backlash that Heath Ledger got for coming in for the Joker, people saying this guy was in 10 Things I Hate About You and things like that.
I know.
What they're doing, and then the performance he put in, and then also knowing that the guy is an absolute monstrous Batman fan, that he's got a Batcave in his house. Yeah. Perfect fit, Stephen. And it was a different thing from Christian Bale as well, an older, grislier version of the character. He's been there, he's done it, and he's coming from a different point of view from the Christian Bale perspective and take on the character. I loved Ben Affleck. I think he's been completely underutilised. I've not done enough with this guy. It's a real shame that he's not going to be able to play out his. We talk about creative vision in the previous topic. Zack Snyder not being able to finish what he started. We're not going to see this incredible script that Ben Affleck apparently.
Well, that's what it says in the article. After Affleck was originally set to direct from a script that he was developing with DC's Jeff Johns, Reeves' script for the Batman was apparently the focus on a young Bruce Wayne. So that's interesting as well. If they're going to be focusing on a young Bruce Wayne, then Ben Affleck can't play the young version. No. Anyway,
unless you're doing like flashbacks to a different actor portraying the character, that's possible.
Yeah, it could be. They could do that. Yep. Yeah. But it does say that I think it just retweeted the news. I think that's what it was. You simply just retweeted the news of his departure, saying excited for #the Batman in summer 2021 and to see Matt Reeves' LA vision come to life. So he's given Matt Reeves his full support on the project because, as you said, he is a Batman fan, and he will go and see this as a fan now.
I don't think he'd hold a grudge against Matt Reeves. He's only coming in to do his job. He's been obviously tapped or asked to come in and do the film, and he's not going to knock back that opportunity. Nobody would. Nobody in their right mind would knock that back, Stephen.
Yeah.
But look, as I says, it's just a shame that he's been completely underutilised. He's not had a real chance to anchor his own proper Batman film. Batman v Superman was a joint film. It wasn't a traditional Batman film, so that's a real shame. But look, it opens up an opportunity for a whole host of new actors to potentially come in and portray this character, Stephen. I've got an article open from Screen Rant here.
Yeah.
They're discussing a few possibilities. We'll quickly go through them, Stephen.
Yeah,
you can
go
give
for
me
it,
your thoughts. First one, number 6, Ben Barnes from Westworld, and obviously thanks to his role, only discovered Ben Barnes thanks to his role as the Punisher's Billy Russell. So he starred obviously John Bernthal in that fantastic series.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't want him. I've got to be honest with you. There's just something about his face doesn't fit for me. It's like John Lennon says, it must be the face. In this case, it is the face.
Yeah.
Number 5, Nicholas Hoult. Never really thought of Nicholas Hoult potentially playing Batman. That'd be intriguing. He's certainly got the stature and the height.
I think he's too youthful. Look.
He is too youthful.
He looks like Buzz from Home Alone there.
He does, yeah.
Doesn't he? He looks like a thin version of him. But no, I think it's eyebrows.
Yeah,
but no, I like Nicholas Hoult, as you know. I think he plays a fantastic beast in the X-Men films, but he's got that. Well, he could play the young Bruce Wayne, I suppose. If they're going to go down that road, it would work, I suppose. He's got certainly got the acting chops to
He's got
to
great
pull it
range,
off.
Stephen. I've seen it in the likes of The Favourite recently.
But,
where he's
I think it's just because I'm getting used to the older, grislier version of Bruce Wayne.
Well, you talk about grislier, he's not older, but Jake Gyllenhaal could certainly play a grizzled version of Bruce Wayne. Would you like to see Jake Gyllenhaal? I think he's a little bit too mainstream, dare I say it. Ben Affleck was very mainstream as well, so Christian Bale, very mainstream. But Jake Gyllenhaal, you've just watched Velvet Buzzsaw, I've not seen it yet, Stephen. Do you think
he's really good in that, but a totally different character from Bruce Wayne when he plays in that. But I don't know. I always remember Jake Gyllenhaal was linked to replace Tobey Maguire. I think Tobey Maguire had a back injury in between Batman and Spider-Man 2, and he would have come in, I think, and he would have. And
now he's playing Mysterio.
Yeah.
Is it Mysterio? If I said that right, I'm pretty sure it's Mysterio.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, and he looks incredible. I cannot wait to see that. But look, we'll move on to number 3. The third possibility, Jamie Dornan. Obviously from the 50 Shades franchise, The Fall.
Yeah.
You think he's a Northern Irish chap, Stephen?
Again,
he's tall enough, he's got the physique. Has he got
and
the
also,
chops?
if you think back when Christian Bale did American Psycho, a very similar character to his character in 50 Shades. You know, a very dark and bit of a psycho.
Yeah. Did he not die in a plane crash in the second 50 Shades Grey and then come right back? No suspense at all.
It's certainly got the Batman traits in, hasn't it?
Well, I'll move on.
Move on. Yeah.
Finn Wittrock. I've never even heard of him.
No, I've never heard of him.
No, I'm going to move right on because I don't want that. Jack O'Connell.
Don't know him, no.
Don't know him either, Stephen. The other one that I would really like is John. I keep forgetting the guy's name. John Hamm.
Yeah, I remember.
That's my personal choice.
That was my choice as well when we did
the
back in the audio show, John, when we were talking about that.
He's got the look. He can wear a suit. He's got the physique. He's got the height. He's a Batman fan. He's very knowledgeable about the comics.
I think I read somewhere, maybe on Twitter, that he's probably the fans' favourite. I think he's the one that.
He's certainly my favourite.
Yeah, so I think there's maybe a bit of a story in that.
He's been in Mad Men as well, so he knows how to play that sort of a slightly unhinged sort of a figure.
Listen, John, we'll move from DC to Marvel now. This is coming in from Variety. It's Chris Pratt's promised that there will be a Guardians of Galaxy Volume 3. Well, thanks for that, Chris.
Shock horror, Chris. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
We knew there was a Volume 3 coming, but really he's been asked a question, I think, and he's really just answering it as politely as he can. He's saying, I promise there will be a third movie. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but I know everyone on board is just as eager to give the fans what they want and wrap up the trilogy in a meaningful way. It's one of those generic answers that actors give to interviewers when they're, they've got the microphone thrust in their face and they ask a very simple, silly question. We knew there was going to be a Volume 3 coming out. I think there's been talk about this director, that director is going to take it on. It just remains to be seen. They were going to be starting the filming, I think it was end of last year, so they've been right into their production by now. But obviously there's a delay on that now. But I think this is really just reassuring fans that it will be coming. Maybe not soon, but in the near future. Yeah,
sans minus James Gunn, sadly, who's stepping into DC, and I think he's confirmed now that he's going to be directing the Suicide Squad 2 film. So he's not going to be involved. Is Taika Waititi going to be involved? That's my personal choice for the director after he's done that crazy Adolf Hitler film where he's playing Hitler.
He did Ragnarok, was it?
He did Thor Ragnarok, and he was just. He created a brilliant film, just a great mix of comedy and just action and everything. He had chemistry with the characters, he nailed it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see him coming in and stepping into that void.
Yeah.
Who knows what will happen though, Stephen? As you said, he's been asked a question and he's answering the question to the best of his ability. Very generic answer, and he's stating it obvious. Everybody knows we're going to get a Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Marvel, or the MCU in general, like to bookend these individual stories, or not standalone stories, but groups.
Yeah.
You obviously had Civil War and ending the Captain America trilogy. Iron Man had a trilogy.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy are going to have a trilogy. So Thor had a trilogy.
Yeah.
So it's something to do.
Yeah.
And it's again getting back to what we discussed in the first two topics.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see that Pratt is saying that you know, everyone is on board. Is
so
that
Dave Bautista's on board as well then?
Yeah.
Oh well, he's been slapped back into line. He's obviously been shown his contract by Disney, Bob Iger, and obviously Kevin Feige, and he's been told you can't leave, you little bitch. So there you go. He's not little and he's not a bitch. I take that back. He's not going to watch this
anyway. Did you say that to his face?
What the hell? He's 6'3" or something, Stephen. I'd be looking up to him. But I digress, man. I can't wait to see it when it comes out. I'm not somebody that holds a grudge. I will definitely be in the cinema to watch this third edition. I've seen the first two.
And we're going to stay on Variety, John. This is a little article that came in that kind of built my hopes up, and then I soon realised, no, this wouldn't be a good idea. Sounds like a terrible idea. And then when they said what it was, I went, no, it still sounds like a terrible idea. It's Groundhog Day sequel. Is in the works, but it is a VR game, not a movie. This is from Sony Pictures VR, who are working on two other games. I don't know what they are, but this is based on Phil Connors Jr. Even reading this is making me cringe. This is the son of Phil Connors and Rita Hansen, who was played by Andy McDowell in the 1993 film alongside the great Bill Murray. It's one of my all-time favourite movies. I'm glad it's not going to be a movie.
You can't do that.
There's nowhere to go with it, because it was just a fairy tale story that had a very happy ending that Bill Murray and Harold Ramis fell out about. He wanted it to be more philosophical. Bill Murray, that is. Harold Ramis wanted to keep the tone that remained in the film, and I think Harold Ramis was very correct.
He was, because it turned out to be one of the greatest comedy films ever made.
And it does still has that meaning, you know, the spiritual meaning in it, you know, and how you can become a better person, you know, if you really want to and you really want to try.
By living and learning from your mistakes, and as you said, Stephen, growing as a person. And we were discussing it recently, actually. It's quite funny just how long he was in.
That's right,
that loop. It could have been 20, 30 years. He became quite an accomplished piano player. But look, this game looks absolutely terrible, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't think it looks terrible as far as graphics, but the actual content of it looks terrible. That Ned Ryerson character
doesn't sound a thing like him.
The only thing, it doesn't sound a bit like him, John, you're right, but the only thing that they've got in common is I want to punch both their faces. The guy that played him in the original one, Stephen, I can't remember his name, Tobolowsky, I think his name is.
One of those faces.
And this character here is more annoying than this. But I don't really get how you can, apart from maybe walking about the town and stuff like that, Pucks the Tony, I really don't get what you can get out of this game.
Yeah, and you know, just the nature of virtual reality games just now, Stephen, they're very much on rails. So you're not really able to do much.
It seems to me that, exactly, and it seems to me it's one of these games where you've got to try and do everything. You've got and perfect every time. And do you remember when Super Mario came out? It didn't have safe houses, so you would keep doing the same thing, and if you fell down, you had to keep doing the same thing over and over again. That's what this reeks of to me.
Yeah, it might be.
And that would drive me insane.
Or that may be open-ended and you just keep living it and learning from your mistakes. I don't know, Stephen. Who knows? But it sounds terrible anyway. I don't have virtual reality, so I'm definitely not going to be getting that, and I'm going to move on swiftly. Yeah,
I think we will, John, to our final article this week. Comes in from The Guardian. Something we were actually talking about not that long ago, that no one can fill this man's shoes when we were talking about. I think it was the Elton John biopic. This is a Bowie one. It's called Stardust. Very original. This is coming in from Duncan Jones.
Space Boy.
Duncan Jones happens to be David Bowie, that is. His son, saying that the Bowie family has not given approval of the film to include David Bowie's music. We talked about this as well, John, before we come on air, in regards to a lot of these unofficial Beatles documentaries that we've watched over the years, where they're not Apple and EMI or whoever owns the label now. I can't remember.
Jackson.
I think it might be Sony, so I can't remember who it is. It's been passed, along the line over the last decade or so, but they've not had the rights to play the real music, so they recreate incidental music, and it's always terrible. In regards to this, it does say in this article by The Guardian that they're going to be using some Bowie covers, so we know that he did Across the Universe. He covered that, I think, in the mid-70s or something like that. He also did Comfortably Numb, the Pink Floyd one, maybe in the 1990s, I think, the late 90s.
So that we had the very good cover. Spiky hair?
Yeah, probably. And that's the kind of theme they're going for here. It's a shame because I think there is a story there to be told. David Bowie, the guy lived probably about 5 lifetimes. And all different. He just recreated himself every decade.
Like Stardust, the Finlay Duke, just a whole host of incredible characters and personas. It's just a shame because I think if they did the project right, it would be a winner. But it's not got the family's approval. So if you're not going to get the family's approval, you're on to, you're on to a loss there right away. Still very close to the man's passing as well, Stephen. I think it's a little bit too soon, Yeah, John, you're absolutely right. Certainly for the family. The other thing is as well that without the music, I don't think David Bowie's story is that interesting. And I don't mean that in a bad way or anything like that, but most of his makeup was the music, Most of his story was through his music. Yeah. And if you're not going to have that, that's a big part of the story, it's not going to be there. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Stephen. That's a big part of any musician and artist that framed his whole life. I do laugh at the article that says it's much like Nowhere Boy for Lennon, which I don't agree with because that was set before, Lennon really penned. Yeah, it was before he was even part of the Quarrymen. Yeah. The only song we got was In Spite of All the Danger, which wasn't a Lennon McCartney, it was a Harrison McCartney, wasn't it? Yeah, it was before he was even Long John and the Silver Beatles, Stephen, so it's not the same at all. We did get Mother at the end of this, but I think maybe that would have been on approval of Yoko Ono, but certainly nothing with the Beatles there because at that stage in his life, none of that had happened yet, so it worked. And as you said, this is very different. This is all about David Bowie, it's a biopic, so it's going to, I presume, frame a good chunk of his career. And to do that, you really need to have the man's work in there. As you did say, Stephen, it was a big part of his life. That's what made him what he was. He was a musician, very, very talented man. He could play the guitar, he could play the piano, sing incredibly. So for that not to be a part of a biopic, it would be a whole experience for me. It's not something I would be interested in going to see. I would much rather they wait 5-10 years, get the family's approval, and then you've got a more enriched experience like we've got with Bohemian Rhapsody, like we've had with a few others like the Doors film, where you can utilise the great music to tell a story that's really befitting of this fantastic man, an iconic man, and just wait till we get somebody who can portray him better, because I can't think of anybody right now who can portray him. Maybe we've got a little guy now who'll go into acting in 10 years' time, he'll look the absolute spit of David Bowie. It's such a unique look, a unique build as well. It was very thin and tall, and it was a very kind of a gangly. He wasn't. I always felt he was very, feminine. And his movement and just the way he looked. Certainly the way he dressed at times as well. But that was all part of the 70s, John. But listen, we'll move on to our poll of the week. This was put on a few days ago, and the simple question was, which of these 4 Robin Williams performances is the best? And the choices were Dead Poet Society, Good Morning Vietnam, Good Will Hunting and Mrs. Doubtfire, and I can say that Good Will Hunting won the poll this week by 33%. Dead Poet Society and Good Morning Vietnam both on 21% and Mrs. Doubtfire on 25%. One thing I will say, John, we've been doing these polls for maybe a good 6-7 months now. Yes. This has been the closest one that I've seen that's and this says a lot about the man's work. It's not just the comments we're getting on Twitter, which we always appreciate. As everyone knows, we can only pick 4 films, and when someone's got such a a great range of movies, it's very hard to narrow it down to 4. Yeah, I mean, Stephen, you look at some of the films that are not in there, the likes of Insomnia, are obviously standing alongside the fantastic Al Pacino. I'm pretty sure it was Al Pacino. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 1 Hour Photo, another incredible film. That's actually one of my favourites. Yeah, he's played such a dark character in that, and it's what someone says in one of the comments, very underrated performance, criminally so. But look, Dead Poet Society, I actually voted for Good Will Hunting because I just think that's an incredible role he played in that as a therapist too, obviously Matt Damon's character. Yeah. That was a tremendous film, and he was utterly sublime in it. Played a large part in my enjoyment in that film. Good Morning Vietnam, I have to make a shocking reveal here, I've never seen this film. That's the one I picked, John, because that's one of my favourite films from Robin Williams. Yeah, and as you said, Stephen, and as somebody else said, a lot of that was ad-libbed, improvised. Well, it had to be because it was a radio DJ. Make it feel natural, that's what they do for a living, isn't it? Yeah, so that is just a stunning, again, a stunning performance and a stunning reflection on the man's ability. And then Dead Poet Society, another incredible film starring alongside Ethan Hawke, a very young Ethan Hawke. Yeah. Again, outstanding. He's been nominated for Oscars for, I think, 3 of the 4 films. that we picked here, Stephen. Mrs. Doubtfire, sadly not, but again, a film which I've got great memories of.
It's a good film.
Doubtfire, dear. And you've got your cream in your tea and stuff like that, some incredible lines.
Do you remember the one when they didn't have the mask on and he had to think quickly and just dipped his face into
that was
cream,
it, that was it. Oh, there you go, you've got the cream in your tea there and things like that. Look, Stephen, showed you the versatility of the man in that film alone. He done his Eddie Murphy thing, playing multiple roles. And it shows you just the range of the man through these lists, the films in this. Poe alone, Stephen, he's done comedy, he's done drama, he's done just everything really. So he's just an incredibly talented chap and sadly missed. Yeah, he was a man that could make you laugh and cry in probably a space of 5 minutes. It was such a, he wore his heart on his sleeve. You know, just looking at some of the YouTube clips with him on the Craig Ferguson, The Late Show, was it? Both of them doing Scottish accents, and Robin Williams loved doing that because he could just speak absolute gibberish, probably the way we sound most of the time. And you were only talking maybe about a year before his death, you know, and he looked so happy, you know, and he looked full of life, but that's what they say about clowns, isn't it? You know, it's a painted on smile on their face, you know. And well, there's a great quote that goes around, Stephen, I see it from time to time, where it says, these people know the true depths of despair that humanity can get to, so they do their best to make everybody else happy so they don't have to feel what they've obviously went through. So that's a great quote, very befitting of a man. Sadly missed, really tragic circumstances, also the way he passed, and it's a real shame because he was a fantastic performer, entertainer. Even as you said, Stephen, on the talk shows, I always remember one, I think it was Conan O'Brien from the early 2000s. And he was just like a man possessed, doing all of these different things, doing hillbilly accents and everything. Absolutely hilarious guy.
Full of life, but listen, we'd just like to thank you for voting in this week's poll. It's always appreciated on Twitter at Movie Burners. And we'd like to thank you again for joining us here on the Movie Burner News. We will be back again tomorrow with the blog rundown.